like a battery. I'm staying charged on my feet, I'm like a factory. Dropping lines like an assembly. I'm staying on point.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to ZukaTube. And today we're going to be reviewing a movie called American Badger. Now, right away I had to go for this because if anybody knows me, knows that something called American Badger with a dude in a suit with a giant American flag behind it knows that that's going to be potentially my kind of movie. I mean, like, look at the cover for this that I saw on iTunes. I mean, like, that's ridiculous. This movie just came out for streaming on iTunes, I guess, June 15th this year. I'm not sure if it technically came out last year in theaters, but I know in the United States it was available June 15th, right? And here's the little description they give. It's real short, right? A ruthless hitman faces a moral dilemma when he receives orders to kill a call girl. Now I'm going to play the trailer, give you a little summary, some pros and cons, my review, and then we're going to go into some spoilers. I got a few clips to play, but let's get right into that trailer. Dang, that was quite a bit of action there.
I think everybody has one thing they're good at.
Definitely a
One
weird guy.
superpower.
You see the way he acts.
This is the man they call the Badger.
This is Marcella Orfova. We
He's
need
got
you
like
to
an
make
OCD.
contact and find out everything you can about her.
Hi, you're back.
What kind of work do you do? Everybody knows a good hitman takes no prisoners, tells no lies, and leaves without a trace, right? Except I've
do
never
a
been
good
that
job
good at the
conveying the
whole
whole
leaving without a trace
Point of
thing.
the movie in this. A lot of really good one-shots. Granted, a good amount of
I
shaky
just
cam,
heard the
but
girl's
man,
still alive.
great
You trying to
one-shot.
get me killed or something?
Sometimes revenge and redemption
There's a
can
lot
look
of spinning,
awfully similar.
a lot of twisties. Yeah, so pretty badass trailer, right? It's pretty neat, right? Because this main character, his name is Dean, and it's played by a guy named Kirk Cowett, a 25-year veteran of the film industry, best known for his work as a stunt performer, stunt coordinator, fight choreographer, and main unit director, who also writes and directs this film as well as plays the main character. So pretty interesting. I haven't really seen many movies like this, especially in a hot minute. So the whole American Badger reference thing they play in the beginning, and they do like a little definition on the screen. It's like a carnivorous nocturnal mammal that lives mostly underground. Badgers are easily agitated and can become very aggressive when threatened. And then it has another thing about the American Badger, and it says the American Badger is like its European cousin and is highly antisocial and prefers to be left alone, unlike its European cousin, right? And let's see. So it starts showing him like living alone, kind of OCD, like I was saying when the trailer was playing. Explains his long job as a hitman for hire, leaves kind of a whole mess in his wake. You know, he kills mad peeps, right? Shows him at a poker game looking like drunk, you know, and then he goes like 0 to 100, whooping ass, right? And then back to him like humdrum, you know, talking about things, narrating as the movie goes on, right? Takes on a whole nightclub full of dudes, pretty badass. It's got like an 80s/90s vibe, but with a modern martial arts movie combined, you know? Like as far as the way the music kind of goes, and the way like he is with his leather jacket and stuff like that, and the way they did like the titles and the presentation overall is very like 80s/90s, but like it's definitely a modern martial arts film, especially the way they do all the camera shots and everything. Like I was saying, there's a lot of one shots and stuff like that. It's really cool. His wife died apparently when he was deployed way back, and now he's just doing the hitman thing. Shows him waiting around a lot and kind of talking about his, problem with thinking too much about random shit like aliens and like all kinds of conspiracy theories, which I enjoy, of course. And he's hired to tail this call girl named Marcella, and he uses like physical and virtual methods to try to find out about her. Ends up saving her from an altercation to get her to talk to him, and basically is hired to get intel for a cartel. Rhyme not intended. And basically, her life is in shambles. Her family's upset with her, not cleaning up her act. Bit of time goes by, with some routine buildup. Shows him kind of mourning his wife while he was deployed, and like how he's warming up to Marcella, and they start dating. And then some time goes by, and she has like a breakdown one night, and then they end up banging. But it shows like a ring on that finger, like she a dirty bird, right? Doesn't really tell him some things. And his contacts finally tell him they want him to kill her and somebody else. Excuse me. And he goes to a club, like mass shootout entails, fight erupts, Marcella wakes up and goes looking for him, and the next day asks about his job. And like where he went kind of tails him the next night too, and witnesses him go in to kill mad peeps. And then like let me just give you an idea of how some of the fights look in this whole movie. It's kind of one-shot fight. Oh man, the crotch shot is ruthless, man. Real squishy sound effects. Like wet, squishy sound. A lot of that going on. Oh, man. Oh, then the gong. The gong at the end is hilarious right there, right? Oh, man, that was great. But, like, she basically, after this whole thing happens and she sees that, leaves him, goes back to being a call girl, going down the deep end. Shows a foreign guy that's like her husband/pimp, I guess, assaulting her in all kinds of ways. Shows both characters reflecting on their lives' decisions. And then this is where, both of them kind of are the main characters at this point as it's building. And they both have to make a decision. And that's where the movie kind of starts to change from there. And they kind of show that whole journey, or the summary of that journey, in this trailer that's available, right? Now, I thought this movie was pretty damn good. I have a few complaints that we'll go into during the spoilers. One complaint in particular, we're going to go into the spoilers. But I did like everything overall. I thought a couple moments were a little slow, like the relationship building stuff, him kind of narrating, and the humdrum stuff was a little like on the slow end. But overall, the action was really good, and I would say, like, I would give this a solid 7. All right, like, it's just a badass action film to watch, and some of the deaths and these like kind of shaky cam one-shot scenes that go through are really badass, and just the fact overall that the guy is like an overall like stunt coordinator and choreographer and all that, and then now he's writing and directing a film where he's the main character and doing all these badass scenes is definitely pretty respectable. So I would give this like a solid 7 for sure. And definitely check this one out, man, especially if you're into martial arts films and haven't seen one that's a little like off the beaten path slightly. Like, it's got that typical kind of, action movie story at first, but then starts to tail a bit and change up a bit, and it's really good the way it plays out, for sure. But now let's get into the spoilers, because I do have a complaint that I really want to go into, right? So here we go. Spoilers. So spoiled. Dang. All right. So there is a complaint I have, but it'll be towards the very end. It's like the very end of the movie type deal, right? But Marcella goes to Badger at the end of everything, and they, decide they're going to kind of run away together for a bit. And they team up and start going after Peeps together as hitmen. And he goes and fucks these Peeps up while she like trails behind, but they start training and they get better and better and start really killing people together and all that. And it's really cool, right? And she starts kind of investigating him a little bit more, gets suspicious, right? And they do a job. They find out about each other because like her old boss was there and she doesn't kill him. And like then she dips and gets kidnapped, of course, by the old boss and starts getting pimped out again. And then like my dude Badger goes in, starts slaughtering mad dudes on some jobs, right, at a warehouse. Crazy, like, varied deaths. Like, table saw death was, like, super epic, out of control, right? Takes tons of money from the scene and dips, all battered up, right? And then Marcella is about to run away as Badger is about to bring the cash to get her to run away as well. And her boss just shows up, pissed because all this stuff happened and he lost out and needs that money that fucking Badger dipped out with in that bag at the end of the warehouse thing. And he shows up at the same time, and then this like slow-mo shootout thing happens, you know what I mean? And they end up killing both of them. Like, check out this a part of this like slow-mo thing. Boom. He reacts quick, always. She manages to push that big ass guy though. Well, that's the boss. He's a little old. Look at her. Pulls out the gun. Boom. Training paid off. Dude gets wrecked. And then look at her. She's upset. She does it, man. She gets him. Gets him. Right? Okay, so like pretty epic kind of slow-mo ending. Like struggled fight scene after like all this epic stuff that he did to get that money and kind of run away and try to get her to run away. And they kind of look at each other like, yeah, like we finally get to do this. But then my biggest complaint, he gives her the goddamn money in the duffel bag and gives her the dog, man. Like, he has a dog the whole time, and like he gives her the freaking dog. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I mean, that's all he had in his house, in his apartment by himself was a dog. And like, it's not anything to the story really. It's like just they show him in the beginning, but you give her the money after all that you both go through together, and then she just dips off with all the money and the dog, and she lives happily ever after, and you just stay there upset, laying like in the fetal position in the old dog bed that's still there left over. The end? Are you kidding me? The ending is garbage. The ending is absolute garbage. This movie could have easily been like an 8.5, 9. It was really enjoyable, but like that last minute or two of this damn movie pissed me off so much. And that last couple minutes of this movie was enough to like knock this score down quite a few points from being pretty damn epic. But either way, it's a great martial arts movie. Check it out if you're watching the spoilers and you've already seen it, or now get a little turned off. I mean, don't necessarily, because it is still a good martial arts movie. I mean, you got to give the guy credit there. He did a really good job overall. But, man, like that shit pissed me off. American Badger, 7 out of 10. ZukaTube, out.
Dropping lines like an assembly. I'm staying on point. It's my strategy. Feel like they tracking me. Yo, let me get on one. Now go get your tracks up. Homie, can I steal some? Homie, you can't stack up. My brother, can you shout me? You're barking up the wrong tree. My dog, why do you doubt me? Cause you can't do shit without me.
Real like the radio and never play it, but that's cool. The enemy's supposed to hate it.